Hello everyone, sorry, I just sneezed. So, let's build something special today, right? So I've set up this, create a new app. I set up this GPT Pilot, and I want to build something that allows me to hear my own voice. Okay, so I want to build something that allows peer-to-peer communication between people with that share their UUIDs. So there's no node or server that is being used like an API to communicate with one another. This is going to be done through two Node.js apps. Now I don't know if I'm going to be successful today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a tool called GPT Pilot that I saw on Matthew Berman's channel, and looks very promising. It looks very intelligent, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, but once you load it up through extensions, so you can go to here, extensions, GPT Pilot, that guy there, and you load it up, you put in your API key, it's very easy, and once you do, you're going to get this down here, GPT Pilot. And I basically just started off with this screen, so you log in, you give it your email address, and that's it. So if this fails, which I think it will, but I still have a great deal of hope that it's going to be quite powerful. If this fails, I'm going to use another program called Aider, which will then look through my whole repository, which will be using C tags so that it keeps an eye on where everything is, and you can then modify text and it'll know what you're talking about. And I think it also uses GPT-4 or GPT to work with it. Now, it would be very interesting to be using a local model, and I believe that this technology will be coming soon. It's just maybe not there at the moment. So I want to get started. So what I did is I've been discussing with GPT-4 with Whisper, trying to flesh out my ideas. I actually even really read it all myself. So let's just go and create it. Okay, so project description. What is the project name? Oof. I'm going to call it, I don't know. What would we call it? There's nobody online to talk to, so it's just me. The purpose behind this is to help each other level up, pass ideas on to each other, without having a giant corporation which we have to work through, because we all got our own PCs and we all got our own stuff, and the great AI revolution is here, and this is going to be the year that this stuff takes over. And I'm demoing these projects to show you what is coming, and I'm currently unemployed, so I have the chance to do this and I don't have to worry too much. And there's a lot of other ones here, cool things, but I don't know what other company name there is out there, so I'm going to call this Unbalanced. I'm going to call it with a Z, because probably there's nobody with that name. Okay, describe your app in as much detail as possible. Take sugar. Copy. Paste. Okay, let's go with reading it out loud and writing it down. Okay. Create. Is there, just in case, Control-A, delete. Okay. Create a local P2P communication app using Electron and Node.js, where users can share notes. Sorry, I can't see that. Can share notes, removing them other users local storage. Allow, okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Sorry, where users can share notes and images. Okay, notes and images, marking them as public or private. Allow users to retract public notes. It's my first time reading this too, so removing them from other users. Local storage. Okay. Ensure the app operates locally. So I want you to be able to download it with optional internet access for GPT-4 integration for note organization. Users will input their OpenAI API keys for this feature. So the idea in my mind, which I thought I was going to be writing out here, was that we, the community, anybody, everybody, could have an app that you run on your computer that you will have your own UUID, Universal Unique Identifier, and you can share that with somebody else and they can share it with you, and that peer-to-peer network becomes your part of your community, and you can keep on adding more people onto that list. And if I write a note and I make it public, and then everybody in that list will end up getting that note. Or if I create an image, same thing. Now, I probably will just focus on doing notes just for making not just ease of use, but just for security reasons. Marking them as public, okay? Yeah, we're using, and you know, we can always change things up later on using that other thing called Aider that I was talking about, where users can share notes, marking them as public or private. So the idea is that, oh no, I put up the wrong note, I want to remove that. So then it should create a queue of things that should be removed. So if my app is up and running, I have a note in it, and I accidentally put my bank statement or something like that on there, and it got shared to all these other peers in my group, whenever they turn on their app the next time, they should receive the message saying, hey, this is going to be removed. Now, I guess they have to have internet access to be able to, for your computer to know that they've been online and that it needs to be removed. Now, I guess this is similar to blockchain in some ways, but I don't really understand blockchain super well, so just what I was thinking in my head. I think part of the reason why I want to create this is to share stuff between us, engineers and software developers out there, and anybody else that we like, that value each other. I don't think that in the coming year we're going to feel very valued because they're going to be trying to remove quite a few of us from certain jobs until they realize that they will probably need us to communicate, and that the ones that are trying to remove us will probably be the ones that should be removed themselves. Like I've seen a lot of CEOs, for example, or no, I haven't seen a lot, I've seen CEOs in some companies being replaced by AI bots. And the CEOs will be making the decision to replace other people. Like we've seen recently, I think on Asmongold's channel, a restaurant where the entire restaurant is run by AI. So AI robots flipping the burgers and making the fries, and I believe delivering it to the customer. And they even still wanted a tip, which is totally American culture, but why would you tip a robot? So yeah, maybe it's not time to fight back, but create a community where maybe we can start making apps and ideas between each other and get the same work that the companies were going to get with us. But instead, the profits go to you and me. I don't know how successful I will be in that area, but let's see. Sorry, cup of tea. What's next? Unbalanced. Okay. Okay. What is the project name? We already read that. Okay. Should the private note sharing feature be password protected or limited to specific users? Should the private note sharing, if it is private, it should just be for the local system. If it becomes public, it should only share with other users on the local systems list. The local user would have to give another user their UUID for them to be able to share notes. So, yeah, okay. Okay, is the GPT-4 integration to be used solely for note organization, or are there any other features? It will just be for note organization and is not needed yet. It is a feature I want to integrate later. The reason for this would be like, imagine having a list of 100 UIDs from 100 different people, and everybody's throwing up notes, and they want to categorize it into one area or another, and some people don't do categorization and tidying very well, and other people do, and you just want to have it organized so that and it's just in text. Why can't they put it into the correct category? Should the app have a user registration and login system, or is it meant to be used without user accounts? I don't want to have a login system. Okay, login system, yes, I guess. Yeah. Let's go with a login system, but keep it totally local. Do you want like 3 or 4 people on your same computer as you having their own logins with their own different IDs? I guess that's good. And that's what this is. So, okay. Do you require any specific encryption or security measures for storing notes and user data locally? I don't think so, because it's on your computer. You can manage your own security, and this is just a test app. No. Seems okay to me at the moment. Thank you. The project will involve the creation of a local peer-to-peer communication application named Unbalanced. The application will be developed using Electron and Node.js. It will allow users to share notes that can be marked as either public or private. Public notes can be retracted, removing them from other users' local storage. Private notes are only available on the user's local system. While sharing of notes requires the exchange of user's UUID, additionally, the app will include a feature for GPT-4 integration to assist with a note organization. However, the integration is planned for a future update, and users will provide their OpenAI API keys to enable the feature. This feature. The app will also incorporate a local login system, but no specific encryption or additional security measures for storing notes or user data have been requested. Okay, as a user, I want to register for an account on the unbalanced app using a local login system so I can access my private and public notes. Do you want to add anything else? If not, just press enter. I want the login screen to look nice. I want to be able to create a note to create as many notes as I would like in the system. I would like to choose to organize the notes into folders of my own description. And I am not sure what else. Okay, do you want to add anything else? If not, press enter. Just asked me already. Okay. Do you want... I just press enter. I have pressed enter now 3 times. Okay, cool. It's listing out all the things I would need. That would take me a while to figure out anyway. Okay, technologies, architecture. Well, that's pretty good. Please check this message and say what else to be changed. If everything is okay, just press enter. Okay, Electron, Node.js, SQLite, PouchDB, React, Redux, Material UI, Socket.io, UID, bcrypt, Express, ZeroMQ, Local Forge, Axios, Node-RED, OpenAI's GPT-3 JavaScript SDK. Sure. Please set up your local environment so that the technologies listed can be utilized. Well, there's an issue. Okay. Luckily, ChatGPT is on the left, and I can do something like this. Snippet. I have been asked to do this in the image. Tell me what to do to get this installed on my local system. Now, of course, I can figure this out. Normally, I've done these kinds of things before, but just easier to ask, get this, and then be done. Okay, so install Node.js, download Node.js. I think I already have it installed. I may or may not. I have installed this many times before, but either way, the official website, yeah. Install Node.js, which is a node package manager. Initialize Node.js project, create a new directory. I got a directory on my desktop. I'm calling it new project, but I guess, which is where I thought I started this. Yeah, but let's go in here. Oh, GPT Pilot. Okay, cool. It's doing something. I think that the instructions can be a bit more clear here. Like, everything clear, okay. Planning project. So it just says, please set up your local environment so that the technologies listed can be utilized. When you are done, press done. Okay, so am I going to create this app over here, my app, empty in it? So this is where some of you are probably cringing. It's like, why doesn't he know what to do next? because I don't know whether or not I'm supposed to create it in here or separately. And I don't have a place to ask it. And that's an issue for me. Because I don't like restarting things over and over and over again. But let's go and try it. Let's just ask ChatGPT. Make sure you have a solid understanding of each. I do not. Does the image suggest I build it in the folder I started with, or should I create a new folder? I created a folder on the desktop and I initiated GPT Pilot. Pilot. Now, if I go into GPT Pilot, and I can just go to take another screenshot. As seen in the image. The image you've uploaded shows a project structure that includes directories for environment settings, scripts, and workspace, as well as Docker setup and with a Docker file and Docker compose, which is cool. This structure suggests that the project is intended to be containerized, which means it is designed to run in a Docker container. Yes, I got that part. Given that you have initiated GPT Pilot within this folder structure, it seems that the project is set up to be developed right there. Okay, cool, makes sense. Workspace probably. You wouldn't need to create a new folder unless you want to separate your development environment, or if this project structure is for a different project. The presence of requirements.txt indicates that that there may be Python dependencies, while the Docker file suggests that the environment can be standardized and made portable using Docker. If this folder was created as part of initializing GPT Pilot and dedicated to the project you're working on, then it's appropriate to continue development within the existing structure. You can build your Electron app within the workspace directory or create a new directory within workspace for your app. The pilot env folder might be for virtual environment configurations, which can be useful for managing dependencies, settings specific to your project. To proceed, you should use the workspace directory. You could have just said that. Follow the instructions or documentation present in README. Is there anything in README? How to start GPT Pilot. There's a lot there to read. Install Node.js Electron dependencies on the workspace. Your application will code will reside. Okay, cool. So let's go back to here and let's go into workspace, and we're in workspace. Okay. Give me the instructions. Instructions I should follow to work in the. And there's the folder and the location shown in the image. I went into workspace and a folder called unbalanced is in there. Unbalanced is the name of my project. So as you can see, somebody that hasn't got a clue, in this case me, is able to start off, follow instructions, ask questions, get answers that are explained in full detail or in great detail. And even if I didn't know anything, I could just ask another question and another question and another question. And as long as you are determined enough, you can get to where you want to go. So navigate to your project folder, unbalanced, in your command line interface if you're using Windows. So I can just a shortcut to that would be here, CMD. Now I'm terrible at reading instructions, so I run into issues many a times. But I'm in there, right? In your command line interface. If you're using Windows, you can also type CMD in the address bar. Did that, okay. If you are not using the address bar trick, manually initialize your project. Okay, there we go. So let's do that. Cool. And that, it showed up. Package.json wasn't there before. Okay. Install dependencies. This is something that would take a couple of years of a degree or courses or being trained up in another company. And yes, I've used some of these technologies before. Every single time I've used them in the past, before last year, I would go to Stack Overflow or some other tutorial or follow something on YouTube. And now I'm building a full-fledged app which would take maybe a developer a few weeks, possibly, or maybe a team of developers the same amount of time. And I'm doing that while I sit back having a conversation with you guys about how not good I am at this stuff. And it's being created for me. Now, yes, I know I'm just installing packages right now, but as I fail to go through this, I am still progressing through this, and the code is going to be created along the way. Set up your project structure. Create the basic file structure for an Electron app inside the unbalanced folder. Typically, this includes creating entry files for your Electron app, main.js for the main process, and index.html for the render process. Okay, so let's just go with the very easy way of doing it. New folder, main.js. Yep, and then new folder, index.html. Okay. Open your VS Code and start writing your application code. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. But let's just go with done over here and see what happens. Let's see this first, actually. So Electron, Node is already in there, I believe, because Electron's in there. SQLite, PouchDB, React, Redux, yeah, Material UI, Socket.io, UUID, Bcrypt, Express, ZeroMQ, LocalForge, Axios, and Node-RED, and OpenAI. I think, let's go with done. I think that by the end of next year, not only will you be able to do this all entirely locally, but I think that'll happen in the next couple of months. And the biggest thing out there will be what kind of GPU you have, and even then, I don't see that as being so much of a big problem, because they're already working with creating Mamba for context remembering. So it's like it doesn't lose track so easily. As you can see, or as I've talked about, we're going to be using Aider at some point. There are other versions out there of the same, excuse me, same software or similar software that keeps its context for longer. But I've also now seen CPU-powered large language models, and the large language models are getting more specific and smaller, so eventually we'll be able to run them on our phones and it'll just swap between one model and the next model and pass in the context window and then keep on working with each other to solve your problem. Might take a bit longer than on a big GPU, but you know, it's like I'm just really interested in what it's doing right now. I'm just wonder if you guys can see that. Sorry. Yes, you can. Okay, cool. So I know for a fact I'd be scratching my head halfway through, no, sorry, every single step of this. But here it is, being made on the fly while I talk. Okay. Tell me that jobs aren't going to be going. Or haven't already. Now, I have seen, I think it's Jimmy Fan, where he discusses that lots of other programs that big companies wouldn't waste their time making can now be created by individual creators. I think his example was based on, say, a pizza restaurant wanting to analyze their pizzas before they're shipped off to customers. And of course, Microsoft and Google wouldn't be interested in making this, but you theoretically could go off and use something like segment anything model using YOLO, have an image classification for the pizzas inside the pizza shop, charge them, like, let's say, a small fee, and then have that as a recurring revenue for yourself, and they can show that, hey, when it left the pizza shop before Uber Eats or some other delivery guy took it, it would look like this, and this is what you ended up getting, and we even rated it, or you know, as the pizza's being made, it's being classified, you know, even in the oven and all that kind of thing. Now, I personally think whatever you make, and if it's makes any profit or if it's any good, then somebody like OpenAI or another developer is going to come in and go, hey, actually, we like that idea, we're going to make it too. And then we're going to run into the retrieval augmented generation issue again, where you had all these startups making, including me, making a RAG site, and then they decided to go off and make their own, and those like a bunch of companies went bust overnight. Like just at the beginning of last year, there was a lot of small developing companies, or small startup companies, that were destroyed within the first 3-4 months, and then at the end of the year. Okay, if yes, just enter, otherwise type no, but it will be processed as successfully executed. Can I execute? Yes. Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay. Oh, npm install Electron builder, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Go for it. Now, here's the question. Do you need to learn these things now anymore? Or is this something like just be aware of it and then it's going to be created for you? Or, because it looks like I don't need to learn it currently until it actually makes a massive mistake. Can I execute the command npm install deconcurrently wait Babel core loader? Yes. Go for it. Now, I think this is similar to like AutoGen or I'm not too sure about TaskWeaver, but Baby AGI, where it would write up the code, it would figure out what it's supposed to do, and then come back to you and ask for permissions, and you could actually eventually turn that off. So I imagine manager, project manager, marketing person, another developer sitting back and typing in, I don't like typing yes all the time, just make the damn thing, and then it gets created for you. And as you can see, what I've done right now is coming from a noob's point of view, and I'm creating the whole thing from scratch without having typed in anything. And it's only when things start getting dicey that I'll actually have to dive into it and start thinking. And otherwise, you got everything being organized the way one of those kind of salty engineer managers will be like, hey, you haven't got everything organized the way I like it, and it's not tidy, and you're not using enough spacing here and there, and I don't know what you've been writing. And this is going to have, or already has, comments, organization, correct templating in general, and everything installed on the fly. If something is wrong, tell me or type continue. Can you check if the app works, please? Here is a description of what should be working. Cool. To test if the task was completed successfully, follow these steps. Open the command prompt or Windows on your Windows machine. There we go. Navigate to the root directory of unbalanced app using the cd command. For example, if your project is located in projects unbalanced, you would enter the following command and press enter. Yeah, okay. Once you are in the project's root directory, run the application using the npm start by typing the following and press enter. Well, I think I'm in here. npm start. Okay. The command will trigger the build process for React, start the React development server, and launch the Electron application. After a short while, you should see an Electron window pop up on your screen. Inside the window, there should be a message saying hello world. If you see the message, it confirms that the React has been properly integrated with the Electron application. Confirm that the window appears as expected, hello world. If it does, the task can be considered completed successfully. There is no need for any API request or additional code writing to test this task. If the window does not open or the message is not displayed, then the task has not been completed successfully, and you should check the setup installation steps for any issues. So what did I do? I typed in npm start. Did I do it in the right place? I'm in unbalanced workspace, unbalanced, or is it back? This is where me being a noob is an issue, so I would have thought that I started it in here. I have GPT Pilot, workspace, unbalanced, npm start. It should be in here. Why would it? It shouldn't be having its own confusion here, in my opinion. And I should be able to ask it whether or not I should be able to be in the workspace or there. Now, what does start app mean either? Start app? What do you get? Concurrently not recognized as an internal or external command. Copy command output. Ah. Based on the information provided, the issue at hand appears to be that concurrently package is not recognized as a command. This suggests that either the package is not, so I actually really didn't even have to read there. I should have just clicked and then done. You have a potential path issue with index.html where bundle.js is being sourced. It should be looking for concurrent directory. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, this is the problem with listening to two different AIs. I shouldn't have installed put an index.html and main.js here. Looks like it should have been under source. it's running this. Okay, cool. I think it's moving the index.html to another location. Yes, please do. Install concurrently for me. So there is a bit of back and forth going on, and it's still doing all of this stuff. And I'm pretty sure if I sat down and I was debugging, it would take me a couple of hours, or maybe I'd be lucky and I'd get it on the first try, but I wouldn't be continuing on straight away. I'd just be like, I need a break now. Can I start debugging? Yes. Now, the one thing I'm going to check after this is how much this will cost, because it's using GPT, but they did drop their prices down at the start of November, I think it was, or the start of December, not too sure. But the cost of all these tokens is going to be reducing over time. I am interested in seeing what's happening. This is my first time using this. So if you ever see me coming up with a cool new project or piece of software, just know that I probably didn't have that much to do with the coding. OneDrive, I swear to God. Okay. Can I execute command MD? Yes, you can. OneDrive drives me nuts. I've removed it before, and it's not meant to be on there, but it's still on there. Okay. With regards to favorability of companies, I've always disliked Apple. It's just a thing that you do when you're an Android user. But Apple is going up and up and up and up in my respected companies list due to Google not sharing their AI years ago when they had stuff ready and falling behind OpenAI and all that and all the like, and then failing with their Gemini build that they did recently, and then Microsoft is, Microsoft, they were always, preferred by me at least over Apple, but now Apple is moving up there and I'm thinking of replacing my Samsung for an iPhone, and I feel kind of dirty. Can I execute this command? Yes, you can. It could probably ask to sell one of my kidneys, and I'm just saying yes to it half the time. But rd/s/q node modules, delete package lock JSON. Oh yeah, okay, sure. You need human intervention. Okay. What do you need? Ensure that the node modules directory is not being actively synced by OneDrive. Specifically, either pause syncing in OneDrive settings or move the project folder out of OneDrive's sync paths for the duration of the package installation. I should have done this on my D drive, not on the desktop. I know, it's my own problem. How to stop OneDrive. There is no icon. It's not on my screen. I've turned it off before. Okay, nope. Can't tab. Okay, choose folders in the sync. Let's just go with this. Yeah. Right click on OneDrive icon. It's not there. Not there. Okay. Press Windows key, OneDrive, into the search, press enter. Okay. OneDrive app should be starting up. Maybe. Okay. Check system tray overflow. Click on the arrow. Yes, I'm aware of this. I'm not crazy, right, people? It's not on my list. Stop OneDrive from starting automatically. Adjust OneDrive settings. This should launch OneDrive if installed, and the icon should appear in the system tray. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be. If you want to stop syncing altogether, open OneDrive application from the start menu. Here. Okay. Yeah. Simply cut and paste your project your project folder from OneDrive directory to a no location using File Explorer. I do not know what's going to happen here, but let's give it a whirl and see what happens. I feel like I have to, if something is wrong, tell me or type continue. Okay. I have to turn you off and move my folder to my D drive because OneDrive is confusing. Can I come back to you? Move the project folder from OneDrive to D drive to prevent any issues with file syncing. Make sure to maintain the structure of the project. Okie dokie. Am I closing you now? I'm just gonna cut and I'm gonna put it into my D drive. Paste. Okay. Let's continue doing that. Try again. Try again. Cut. And go to D drive again. Lesson learned. Okay. Now I opened this with show more options, Visual Studio Code, and can we use this folder as workspace for GPT Pilot? A subdirectory will be created. New project GPT Pilot. Is this in the same location? Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. We would appreciate if you let us store your initial app prompt. If you are okay with that, press enter. Yeah, I'm okay with that. sure. Can I go? Yes. Okay. So, not a wonderful start. And this became what I think is called a PEPCAC issue. Problem exists between keyboard and mouse. Me. GPT Pilot exiting with error. Saving new project GPT workspace. Yes. Don't bloody exit on me again. Do you want to? No. Don't. Well, here's some other things. Oh, headache. So, I either start again I have an hour before I have to go pick up my kids. I do want to start again, but I need a bathroom break, and I think that might be enough for me today. So I'll come back at that in about 6 hours time and give it another go. Thank you for joining, and I will attempt this a second time. I will